All right, let's just jump right in. What if I told you there's a simple cheat code to get more done, earn more money, and actually work less? I know it sounds way too good to be true, but that's exactly what we're going to break down right now. This right here, this challenges everything we're taught about success. We're always told that to get ahead, you've got to outwork everybody, put in more hours, more hustle, right? But what if that's a trap? The idea here is that if you're not focusing on the right 20%, you're just spinning your wheels doing busy work. And that brings us to a feeling I think we all know a little too well, the busy work trap. It's that exhausting cycle, running from task to task, your to-do list never gets any shorter, and at the end of the day, you're completely drained, but you don't really feel like you accomplished anything that mattered. And this image, wow, it just perfectly captures that feeling, doesn't it? This is what so much of modern work feels like. You're just frantically juggling 100 different things, answering emails, jumping into meetings, filling out reports, putting out all these little fires. You're constantly moving, but are you actually moving forward? The tough truth is, being busy feels productive. It even looks productive. But really, it's the fast track to burnout, not breakthrough results. So how do we get out of this trap? Well, this is the aha moment. This is the key that unlocks a totally different way of thinking about work and productivity. Let's get into this elegant solution, what's known as the 80-20 revelation. So the official name for this cheat code is the Pareto principle. It was named after an Italian economist who, way back when, noticed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by just 20% of the people. And then he started seeing this pattern everywhere. It's almost like a law of nature. And it basically says that for most things in life, a huge majority of the results, we're talking 80%, come from a tiny minority of the effort, just 20%. Remember this ratio, 80-20. Seriously, burn it into your brain. It's not just some clever little observation, it's a fundamental law of imbalance that you can actually use to your advantage. And once you start looking for it, I promise you, you'll see it absolutely everywhere. From your business to your personal life, it's the key to finding those critical few things that create most of the results. And this visual just nails it. Instead of juggling those 100 balls, what if you just dropped the 80 that don't really matter? What if you focused all your energy on the 20 balls that are actually giving you 80% of your results? That's the whole game. The most important thing to get is this. Stop treating all your tasks as if they're equal. They are absolutely not. Okay, so this is where the theory gets real. The big question now is, how do you identify your vital 20%? How do you actually separate the high-impact tasks from all that low-impact busy work? Now, what's so great about this slide is how clear it makes the distinction. So on one side, you have the trivial many. That's the 80% of tasks. A perfect example is constantly checking and managing your email inbox. Sure, it feels productive, but does it really grow your business or move your career forward? Now compare that to the vital few, the 20%. The example here is making sales calls. Think about it. One or two of those calls could bring in more revenue than 1,000 emails ever could. That's the difference we're talking about. So just take a second and actually think about this for your own work. What are the 1, 2, or maybe 3 activities that when you do them, produce the biggest results? Is it writing code, closing a deal, designing a new product, creating content? You have to be really honest with yourself. That is your 20%. Okay, so once you've identified your vital few, an even more important question comes up. What in the world do you do with all the other stuff? All that trivial many, the 80% that's just clogging up your day. I mean, you can't just ignore it, or can you? This part requires a pretty ruthless mindset shift. You have to be willing to literally kill busy work. And this is the hard part, right? Because it goes against all our instincts. We're kind of programmed to think that activity equals accomplishment. Letting go of tasks feels like you're dropping the ball, like you might miss something important. It's like a professional fear of missing out. But you have to break that programming and trust that focusing on the 20% is where the real success and security is. So how do you do it? Well, it boils down to a really simple 3-step framework. For every single low-impact task on your plate, you've got 3 options. Eliminate, delegate, or automate. That's it. There are no other options. Let's look at some real-world examples here. Eliminate. You know that weekly meeting that doesn't have a clear purpose and doesn't produce any real outcomes? Kill it. Just stop going. Delegate. Are you spending hours on administrative stuff that someone else on your team could easily handle? Hand it off. Automate. Are you manually creating the exact same report week after week? Find a tool or write a script to do it for you. The goal here is to get that 80% off your plate for good. So, what happens when you actually do this? When you identify your 20% and you are ruthless about handling the other 80? Well, let me tell you, the payoff is pretty incredible. You go from frantically juggling 100 little things to being calm, clear, and totally focused on the one big thing that truly matters. And whether that's profit or innovation or your own personal growth, all of your best energy is now going exactly where it can have the biggest possible impact. And this is the ultimate result. This chart, man, it says it all. Your hours worked actually go down, which gives you more freedom and stops you from burning out. But because you're focused only on the highest leveraged activities, your results, your revenue, your output, whatever you measure, they go up dramatically. You really do achieve more by doing less. That's the power of the Pareto Cheat Code. So let's make this real. This is only useful if you actually apply it. So I'll leave you with this question to really think about. Looking at your to-do list for tomorrow, what is the single biggest, most time-consuming, lowest impact task that you can eliminate, delegate, or automate, starting right now? What's the first 80% task you're going to drop?